MLB trade deadline rumors, Yankees, Suárez, and more. The MLB trade deadline is just around the corner, set for July 31st. And it's a time when the baseball world is abuzz with speculation and deals. For fans and analysts alike, this period can be thrilling or nerve-wracking, depending on whether your favorite team is buying or selling. As we approach the final stretch, let's dive into the latest rumors and movements that are shaking the landscape of Major League Baseball. Eugenio Suárez, a hot commodity in the trade market. The Arizona Diamondbacks have made it clear that they are open to selling, and one of their most valuable assets is third baseman Eugenio Suárez. The Cincinnati Reds, where Suárez spent 7 successful seasons, are reportedly in talks with the D-backs about a potential reunion. However, don't get too excited just yet. According to MLB.com's Mark Feinsand, the chances of a deal materializing are slim. The D-backs are also exploring the farm systems of the New York Yankees and Mets, indicating that they are serious about extracting maximum value for Suárez. At 34, Suárez is an impending free agent, but his performance this season has been impressive. He's hitting .252 with 36 home runs and a WAR of 3.4. Making him a coveted addition for playoff contending teams. Despite being 5.5 games out of a wild card spot, the Diamondbacks are positioning themselves as sellers, with other players like Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, and Josh Naylor also potentially on the move. Ben Rice, a wild card for the Yankees. The New York Yankees are another team in the mix, and they've received calls regarding young catcher Ben Rice. Some teams are intrigued by the idea of using Rice behind the plate, which could add depth to their catching core. Rice, 26, has shown promise in limited action this season, with a .232 batting average and 15 home runs. However, the Yankees are currently overloaded with hitters, making Rice a potential trade chip as they look to balance their roster. Steven Kwan, a target for the Phillies and Padres. The Cleveland Guardians are still on the fence about their strategy heading into the deadline. They are currently 2.5 games back of a wild card spot. But if they decide to sell, outfielder Steven Kwan is likely to attract significant interest. Both the Philadelphia Phillies and San Diego Padres are eyeing Kwan, who is a 2-time All-Star and a 3-time Gold Glove winner. Kwan, 28, has a solid .285 batting average and has demonstrated strong defensive skills. However, Cleveland is unlikely to part with him unless they receive a compelling offer. Sandy Alcantara, on the Padres' radar. In addition to Kwan, the Padres have also shown interest in Miami Marlins right-hander Sandy Alcantara. Alcantara, who was returning from elbow surgery, pitched well against the Padres recently, allowing only 1 unearned run over 7 innings. It's unclear if the Padres would need to offload another pitcher, like Dylan Cease, to make room for Alcantara, but the team is clearly looking to bolster its pitching staff. Astros seeking a third baseman. The Houston Astros are in a bit of a bind after losing third baseman Isaac Paredes to a severe hamstring strain. With Paredes potentially out for the remainder of the season, the Astros are actively searching for a replacement. One name that has surfaced is Colorado Rockies third baseman Ryan McMahon. McMahon, 30, has a respectable .217 batting average and 16 home runs, and he's under contract for 2027, making him a potential long-term solution for the Astros. Tampa Bay Rays holding on to Pete Fairbanks. At Tampa Bay Rays, currently 1.5 games out of a wildcard spot, are taking a different approach. According to The Athletic, the Rays strongly prefer to keep reliever Pete Fairbanks. Fairbanks, 31, has been a reliable presence in the bullpen, with 17 saves and a 2.84 ERA. While his rising costs have made him a frequent subject of trade rumors, the Rays recognize his value and are hesitant to part with him. They have already added to their bullpen by acquiring right-hander Brian Baker from the Baltimore Orioles. As the trade deadline looms, the stakes are high, and every move could make or break a team's season. What do you think about these potential trades? Are there any specific moves you'd like to see your team make? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Eugenio Suárez trade scenarios. Which teams could land the Diamondbacks slugger? Imagine a single move reshaping the entire playoff chase. That's the power Eugenio Suárez holds as this summer's hottest trade chip. With a league-leading 36 home runs and 86 RBIs, the 33-year-old slugger stands head and shoulders above anyone else on the block. But here's where it gets controversial. Will the Arizona Diamondbacks, still clinging to a fading wildcard dream, pull the trigger and send him packing by the July 31st deadline? Editor's note. After this appeared, The Athletic's Ken Rosenthal confirmed that Arizona is telling suitors it plans to move some veterans. Read his full scoop here. https:/www.nytimes.com/athletic651368 2025/24 Arizona Diamondbacks MLB trade deadline sellers. Diamondbacks general manager Mike Hazen insists he'd rather keep his stars in place and choke out the supply of available talent. He hopes a hot July run makes trading away free agent-bound players like Suárez unnecessary. But Arizona, 50-53, sits 5.5 games back of a final National League wildcard spot and has endured injuries to key arms such as Corbin Burns' Tommy John surgery. Hazen faces a dilemma. Hold Suárez and chase a long-shot playoff bid, or cash in on his massive value. 312 career homers, a 254, 325, 598 slash line this season, and restock the farm. At least 6 contending clubs have already whispered interest. What could it take to pry Suárez away? Here are 6 serious suitors and the packages they might offer. 1. New York Yankees. Off-limits prospects, Spencer Jones, George Lombard Jr. But sources say the Yankees could part with middle infielder Roderick Arias plus lefty reliever Brock Selvage. If Arizona wanted more starting pitching help in Gallen or Kelly, both expiring free agents, New York might sweeten the deal with rising righty Cam Schlitter or power-hitting outfielder Everson Pereira. 2. Chicago Cubs. A straight swap for right-handed pitching prospect Jackson Wiggins seems plausible. Wiggins, a second-round pick in 2023, boasts a 2.02 ERA, 78 strikeouts, and just 33 hits allowed over 62 and a third innings, spanning high A and double A. The D-backs covet starting arms, making this an offer tough to turn down. The Cubs could test Arizona's interest by adding outfield prospect Kevin Alcantara. 264, 349, 457 with 11 homers in Triple A. 3. Detroit Tigers. Detroit's bullpen is its top need, but upgrading third base remains on the table. The Tigers will part with top prospects Kevin McGonigal, Bryce Raining, or Max Clark. Instead, they might include catcher, first baseman Thayron Liranzo, 349 OBP, 10 homers at Double A, and righty Jaden Ham, 4.27 ERA in 14 starts, both 22, to fuel a postseason run. 4. Milwaukee Brewers. As baseball's hottest team, the Brewers have the pitching depth to consider a blockbuster. They could offer minor league starter Bishop Letson, 1.33 ERA, 0.85 WHIP at high A, recovering from shoulder inflammation, plus utility infielder Caleb Durbin, 106 OPS plus in 249 at bats. If Arizona prefers proven arms, Milwaukee might swap righty Logan Henderson, 1.71 ERA in 4 MLB starts, 82 strikeouts, and 72 and a third AAA innings, 1-for-1. 5. Seattle Mariners. Nothing stings more for Seattle than regretting the 2023 trade that sent Suárez to Arizona. To reunite, they could send middle infielder Michael Arroyo. 417 on-base rate, 17 homers, 49 RBIs between high A and double A. And righty Ryan Sloan, 3.43 ERA, 5.82 strikeout to walk ratio in low A. 6. Cincinnati Reds. Long shots, yes, but the Reds far in as deep. They might offer 2 of lefty Adam Serwinowski, righties Ty Floyd or Luke Holman, or a mix with middle infielder Peyton Stovall or injured outfielder Tyler Callahan. But prying away a top prospect such as Sal Stewart or Cam Collier for just 2 months of Suárez, now that would spark debate. With 1 week to go till the deadline, bids keep coming. At some point, Arizona may receive an offer too valuable to refuse, and Suárez becomes the centerpiece of a deal that defines this trade season. Boldly speaking, should the Diamondbacks stand pat or embrace a rebuild? Would you rather see Suárez chase October glory in Arizona or elsewhere? Share your take below and join the conversation.